1865. John Lee, detective under Provost Marshal O'Byrne, searched George Atzerott's hotel room. James McDivitt, Metropolitan Police Detective, searched 541 H Street in the early morning hours of April 15, 1865. R.C. Morgan assisted Major Smith in the arrest of the occupants of 541 H Street on April 17, 1865. James O'Byrne, Provost Marshal of Washington, D.C. Charles Roche assisted Major Smith in the arrest of the occupants of 541 H Street on April 17, 1865. Thomas Sampson assisted Major Smith in the arrest of the occupants of 541 H Street on April 17, 1865. Henry W. Smith, detective under Colonel Wells, ordered to arrest occupants of 541 H Street on April 17, 1865. William Wormerskirch assisted Major Smith in the arrest of the occupants of 541 H Street on April 17, 1865. Prison staff. General John Frederick Hartranft, Special Provost Marshal of Washington, D.C., in charge of the Old Arsenal Penitentiary. Major General Winfield Scott Hancock, Commander of the Military District of Washington, D.C., and General Hartranft's direct superior. George Porter, Army surgeon responsible for the health of the prisoners at the Old Arsenal Penitentiary. Captain Christian Rath, hangman appointed by General Hartranft. In the courtroom. Defense. Frederick Aiken, 28-year-old Baltimore attorney and former Union soldier. John W. Clampett, 26-year-old Washington, D.C. attorney. Reverdy Johnson, Maryland senator and former U.S. Attorney General. Prosecution. John Bingham, Ohio congressman, appointed special judge advocate in the conspiracy trial. Colonel Henry L. Burnett, appointed assistant judge advocate in the conspiracy trial. Brigadier General Joseph Holt, Judge Advocate General of the United States Army, presided over the conspiracy trial. Chapter 1. Washington City, April 15, 1865. It was 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when the bell of Mary Surratt's boarding house at 541 H Street rang very violently. On the third floor, 22-year-old Louis Wickman, a former college chum of Mary's younger son, roused himself from bed. After pulling on a pair of pants under his nightshirt, he ran barefooted down the stairs. Wickman did not open the door immediately. Wary of middle-of-the-night visitors, he tapped on the inside of the front door to let whoever had clanged the bell know that they should stop. "Who is there?" Wickman asked. "Government officers. Come to search the house for John Wilkes Booth and John Surratt," came the prompt reply. Louis Wickman had seen John Wilkes Booth, one of the most famous actors in America, that very afternoon. Booth had stopped by to speak with Mrs. Surratt, just before Wickman had driven her into the countryside on an errand. However, Wickman and Booth's mutual friend, Mary's son John Surratt, Jr., had left for Canada over a week before. Through the closed door, Wickman informed the officers that neither of the men they sought was inside. "Let us in anyhow," the voices outside demanded. "We want to search the house." But it was not his house. Wickman was only a boarder, renting his bed and eating his meals in Mrs. Surratt's dining room. He could not let a group of unknown men into a lady's home in the middle of the night without her permission, and Wickman told them so. The officers waited on the porch while Wickman hurried down the hall and past the parlor to Mary Surratt's bedroom door. Another boarder, 17-year-old Honora Fitzpatrick, who shared a bed with Mrs. Surratt, had also been awakened by the clanging doorbell. Now she heard Wickman's gentler knock and his voice calling softly through the door. "Mrs.